What's up, guys? Fuad here, back on Behind the Gloves with another interview. I'm delighted to be joined by the juggernaut, Joyce. Joe, living life. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just a bit tired right now. But had we're just talking about quarantine and that, and obviously staying up late. It's quite hard to get into a proper routine. But
Yeah.
yeah, everything's good.
Before we talk about boxing, seeing as though we are in quarantine, are you sticking on the games? Then I'm guessing. I know you like your games. I know you're a bit of a gamer, aren't you? So, are
Yeah,
you spending a lot of time doing that? What's the routine looking like for you?
yeah. I'm getting a bit bored now. I've been trying different games, but I don't know. I'm a bit bored of playing games now. Uh, I've been playing a bit of VR as well. So,
Okay, what
but
VR games do you play?
there's a number of games. I've got Thrill of the Fight, which is good. It's like a boxing game. I've got Pistol Whip. You got we got like pistols and you obviously shoot people, but there's like to music,
Mm,
and then there's what's that one? Beat Saber.
okay.
There's loads of ones. There's this other one that's called Buried or something. Dead and Buried or something, and you're like this cowboy, and you've got like two six shooters, and
Mm.
then you're online, so there's like other players, and it's like Call of Duty, but like in 3D.
Oh
That's
shit,
quite
that's
cool.
awesome. So you know that boxing one, is that the one that most people like when they play, they end up falling over because they're trying to actually hit something that's not there?
Maybe, or it could be that. It could be the Creed one, but I think the Creed one is like they put more money into it, so it's like a bigger show. It's like got the like fireworks and like you got you can train in the gym and you can hit the bag and stuff like that. So
And that's a training routine in quarantine. Seeing as though the gyms are closed, you could be doing that and just imagining yourself fighting Dubois in the game.
yeah, or like fighting a similar kind of opponent.
Yeah,
It kind of helps you practice like to block and to punch and stuff like that.
who knows? That might become part of training regimes in the future. We never
Yeah,
know.
definitely. Yeah, like a
So,
simulation.
talking about training, I know you were in Las Vegas holding a training camp over there, with the whole team. Let's talk about when the news broke that the fight was getting called off. I saw Sam come out and say, you were really upset. You're not a guy that occasionally shows
I was
emotion,
in
but
tears. No, joking.
apparently
No, it was wounding because, we flew out there and it was an expensive training camp, but it was going to pay off because it was such a big fight, and
yeah,
I was getting very prepared, and I was it hit you kind of hit a point where you really feel good in sparring, and you feel strong from all the you know the strength and conditioning training, and it's like a process. And like I was just about to hit that bit where I'm like really feeling good. Like I was doing 12 rounds and that, and I was feeling comfortable, like firing in all cylinders.
mm. So
So it was, yeah, very disappointing when we had to throw the towel in, come back early before quarantine started, and we wouldn't have been able to get a flight back from Vegas.
yeah. Well, what I was saying is that they've obviously rescheduled the date to July by the looks of it, July 11th or 18th, was it? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, 11th. Yeah, they
So is
kept it
that is
11th.
that 100% going through? What do you know about that situation? I was speaking to one of the undercard fighters yesterday, Hamza Shiraz, and he goes, he's just training and keeping fit. But Frank did say that's going to happen. I don't know whether July fights are going to be likely. You don't know what the government are going to turn around and say. But as of now, is that going ahead behind closed doors?
I think Frank Warren said that he like that this fight has got to be it's got to be with a crowd.
It's got to be.
So I don't know. Like maybe if um I don't know, it gets postponed again to the until a time where there can be a crowd, because I
Yeah.
don't think it'll be that it won't be as excited behind closed doors and with like an empty crowd and like just behind closed doors.
Yeah,
So
just it wouldn't
maybe
feel right.
maybe we might have to like have some like warm up fights or something in between behind closed doors if possible,
Mm.
and then do the big one when we can.
Okay, that makes a lot of
Because
sense.
I don't know how likely that July fight's looking like. Um, Did you see the Boris Johnson statement thingy?
The 5-step plan sort of thing of coming out of
Yeah,
lockdown.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you're going off that, it doesn't really look like you're gonna have arenas filled by July. If anything, they're saying the first time arenas and stuff and like events will start going off again, probably around October, end of September.
Okay.
So if you're
September,
going off that,
October. Well, yeah. Well, preferably not September 11th.
let's not hope. Let's not hope. So would you have? I know you're a very high level amateur as well. You've been through the top levels of the amateur scene. You wouldn't per se have much of a problem fighting behind closed doors if you had to. But if it came to a fight like the Dubois fight, where you'd really have to, get yourself in the zone, not like you don't in other fights, but this one's like the biggest fight of your career so far.
Yeah.
You have to have a crowd there to roar you on, right?
Yeah, it's like it's a bit like a waste of good fireworks. Like if
Yeah.
no one's gonna see them, like I don't know, it's better saved for bonfire night or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. It makes a lot of sense like that,
Drop
doesn't it?
some bombs, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, talking about popping some bombs, yeah, I know you want to pop some bombs in Dubois. Listen, there seems like there's a bit of heat now between you two, bit of push and shove going on here and there. The press conference. What is your real feelings towards Daniel Dubois in terms of a fighter? How do you rate him in the ring?
I think I always keep saying this. He's very strong, but he hasn't got that wealth of experience behind him. He does well at like walking people down and then finishing them off against the ropes.
Hmm,
And um, he's very heavy-handed. So when I like to fight him, I'd have to be switched on and careful not to take any big silly shots.
yeah,
But it's going to be an exciting fight, and I think he's just like I guess he came out of his shell in the press conference and stuff. He got quite vocal for
yeah.
me, which was surprising. So things heated up, and he said some silly things, and I don't know.
Didn't he say something along the lines about something about your mother? I can't remember if it was correct or not. It's quite a while back now, but he
Yeah, because
said some.
he was saying it's lucky you can't see because my mom's like visually impaired. She's got about 8% 7% vision in one eye, and he was saying, "Well, it's good job you can't see. You won't be able to see your son getting knocked out."
How do you
Like
take to that though? Because
one,
that's
that's
family.
disrespectful because my mom was there,
Yeah,
and like in African cultures, you respect your elders,
yeah,
and he obviously hasn't learned that. That's one, and two, he's something you don't say. You don't make fun of people with disability, do you?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I can see where you go. So how do you in the situation? Because you stayed pretty calm. Um, from a personal point of view, and I know a lot of viewers would agree with me. When someone says something about your mum,
And you don't say, and three, you don't say anything about my mama.
exactly, exactly.
So
How
he's
did you keep it
cruising
cool?
for a bruising. He's gonna get knocked out, mate.
I guess you have that motivation, but in the moment, how did you keep it cool?
Well, at the time, I didn't really hear what he said. It was only till afterwards. I was like, yeah, yeah, what, like, because he was just like saying, oh, yeah, I'll put you to sleep. So I wasn't really listening to him. I couldn't really hear him.
Mm.
But it wasn't till like afterwards when I saw Florian Marco, I heard Florian Marco was kicking off, and then I kind of, I think Sam was telling me what he said or something because I didn't really hear what he said. And then afterwards, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that that is that him? Is it like
Mm.
that his character?
Well, we've got a fight
I
night to
just have
sort.
to I just have to deal with him.
You'll have to deal with him in the ring if that's what it's come down to. Listen, sticking with Dubois for a second. I don't know if you've seen what Frank Warren said. He's talking about if he comes past you, and maybe one other fight. I don't know who
Yeah,
is.
he's already talking about Wilder. He needs to he needs to be conscious about me coming at him before he's like thinking about Wilder.
Yeah. What was your instant reaction when you saw that? Because I'd feel some disrespect if I'm the guy fighting this guy next, and they're already talking about another
I know,
fight.
yeah. It's like it's already a full got. Well, it seems like every time they have like a voting thing, like me versus the bar, who's going to win? There's always like, and the bookies, that it's always it seems like everyone thinks the bar's going to win.
Mm.
So I guess I'll just have to prove everyone wrong.
And the night, if that fight did happen, not looking past you at all, because obviously that's a huge fight. But if Dubois did end up fighting Wilder some point next year, he is only like 21, 22 years old. Do you think? And I know obviously Wilder went through that whole fight with Fury, and we don't know how he's going to react to that, how he's going to bounce back from that. If they fought, how do you see that playing out?
Well, I guess the bar's gonna would probably start off and then I don't know, try and walk him down and throw some bombs, and I think Wilder would just have to like make sure he gets a big shot off when he sees a target, sees an opening.
Mm. Would you favor Wilder in that fight or?
Yeah, I'd favor Wilder with his experience, and I think I don't think Dubois quite ready for that. Like, imagine like Wilder coming out, with his mask and that at the weigh-in and intimidating Dubois. Dubois not very like mentally strong. He's just a kid that like I don't know how he would deal with that pressure. He's never fought in like such a big fight, like a big fight like that before with so many people.
Yeah.
I don't know how he would if he would be able to, how he'd deal with the pressure, even the pressure against me.
Have to wait until that one. I'm still excited. I was so bummed. That was that was the fight I was looking forward to the most. I think just generally because of where you both are at your careers. We've seen you both, get good wins, but this was the first real like gauging, like both of you are at really good levels right now, and it would be awesome to see where how that fight would have sort of prevailed.
Yeah,
So I want to ask you about a few other things. I don't know if you've been keeping your eye on social media, but obviously the Mike Tyson hitting the pads video went absolutely nuts the other day. Uh,
yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it, but Mike's apparently doing an exhibition match soon. Don't know against who. Big John Fury called him out. I doubt that will ever happen.
Mate.
But what are you making about
What
this?
about with yeah, obviously he looks good on the pads, and he looks, yeah, he's coming back into some proper fitness and that, because I think he was a bit fat at one point, wasn't he? And then he's proper
Well, he
leaned
stopped. He
out, and
stopped. He stopped training. Like completely stopped training in terms of he didn't like running, going to the gym. I think he every time he'd start doing something like that, his sort of inner pride of being a boxer comes out again, and he'd want to go. So that's the reason he actually stopped training all in all. Hence, he put some weight on, and now I don't know if you've seen the picture. Now he's just looking
yeah, he's
like
shredded, mate.
shredded again.
I thought that was an interesting fight with him and Shannon Briggs. That would be an interesting one.
Bare knuckle though. Come on, we don't.
Yeah, I don't know about bare knuckle though. It could be like like a charity exhibition match or something like that. That'd be
Yeah.
good, like with gloves on, like a proper boxing match.
Well, there's a few other heavyweights that have come out and said that they're gonna do like a charity
Like
match.
maybe like a 6 rounder or something.
You think as a professional,
Huh?
come out and go pro again and have a 6 rounder.
Well, I don't know, because he's been a lot of time out of the ring, and was he 53?
53, 54, yeah.
Yeah, against Shannon Briggs or someone like that. I think, or I'd like to see him fight like maybe a lesser opponent, and like, I don't know, man. He might, I don't know.
What about John Fury?
John Fury, mate. Have you seen that with what's the other guy's name? I
Mickey
saw
Theo,
the I saw John Fury's switching out, calling, doing the counter video for that other guy. What's the other guy's name?
Mickey Theo, the guy that is
Yeah,
meant.
yeah, Mickey Theo, yeah.
Yeah,
Mate, he's serious. You wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of John Fury, man. He's a
that's the,
lovely guy, but you don't want to be on the other side of that, on the receiving end of any of that.
no, that's the
Oi,
one guy you don't want to mess with.
I bet Theo's now having nightmares or something because he's like, why did I call him out? I don't know, but I'd like to see. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Look, all these
Perhaps
exhibition
not
fighters.
bare knuckle in Billy Joe's house, but in the garden. I mean,
Listen,
straighten her.
I think they'd be down for it. I know John Fury's a real fighter from back in the day as well. So I don't think they care if it's bare knuckle or not, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'd like to see it. Someone needs to video it, put it on YouTube or something.
Well, I think if John Fury did end up fighting, I think some sort of broadcaster would want to get hold of it and put
Yeah,
it on TV because it still do numbers, you know,
yeah, do serious numbers. Yeah.
for sure. All right, cool. Well, I appreciate your time as always. If you've got one final message to the fans and then one final message to Daniel Dubois, let us know and we'll wrap the interview up.
Yeah, just stay safe and keep your immune system up and try and get some air and this lovely sunshine out there and just stay tuned for some more updates with my boxing career when everything kicks off again. And to Dubois, uh, I'm coming. I'm coming for you.
I love it,
I
man.
know,
Awesome. Okay, cool.
mate.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time we upload a new video. And we also have a free app available on iTunes and Google Play, so make sure you go and download that. Bye Fight fans.